Hi, Valerie. Welcome and thank you very much for signing up with us. Um, this is, of course, going to be your very first TA on the coins that I had listed for you under your part one of your trading profile or portfolio. Um, it's important to note that we have to split up our portfolio into those two parts for this for the very simple reason that you know if we have BTC pairings on some of the coins, for example, Populous coin, and we reach a certain target, excuse me, on BTC, then there's no way of us getting out the market actually. So it's actually pointless doing any type of trading for those coins, and so rather you just kind of want to hold on to them for the long term. We're just going to really focus on increasing our RSI, sorry, our ROI rather, and looking at accumulating more of our bigger coins on a weekly to monthly basis, depending on how the market moves. Right, so let's get straight into it. I'm going to share my screen with you if you give me a sec. Desktop, there it is. Right, okay. So let us start. Let me just open that first. Okay. So BTC, I've done a few times already, but I'll just give you a quick update with regard to the most recent move. So I've mentioned a few times, that in these retracements, these are known as retracements. First of all, by the way, so let me just take it a step back. So this is effectively our major market trend. So our major market trend is currently in a bear market. When a bear attacks, they hit downwards, and so the analogy comes in when they're speaking about a bear market. These little retracements or these areas are known as retracements. They're very, very natural in the cycle, and we need them to happen naturally in our bear market or even a bull market at times. So we'll only know that we're in a reversal once we've actually broken through the previous highs. So in this case, let's have a look. Let's just understand this. So if Bitcoin at this point decided to, let's say, break out through this downtrend line over here and break the last high of 7.5 roughly, then that would be our first target of a possible turnaround, with the second target being 8.5 and the third target being 10 and 12 and so on and so forth. So we'll only know that we're really in a reversal if we actually break through the downtrend line 1 and 2, and break our previous all-time highs, which in this case we haven't. So currently on the BTC market, we had our little retracement. We didn't quite get to the roof of that downtrend line, but nonetheless, we did find resistance at this level over here due to this section over here, as we can see, which is a perfect head and shoulders pattern. So we found our resistance over here, and we came back down. Today we're finding a little bit of resistance coming back, or support coming back down, which is very natural, as we'll see every single time. So here, if we come back down, there's some green candles. We'll never see a drop. There'll always be a break in momentum in the market. We may even come back and test this and then come back down. But our main target at this point is to come back down to that 6.1 level. If that doesn't hold, then you're looking at coming down to that 5.8 level. I'm not sure if you're in the market at all, but what I would do at this stage is I would maybe split it up into 50-50. So maybe put 50% of your BTC holdings into Tether. So if the market does run up, you'll still grab some more profits at the top, and once you sell, you can then accumulate more at the bottom together with the Tether that you have from your Bitcoin. So that's the target really. We are in the continuation rather of our market movement at this point here, and I don't necessarily see too much strength for us to kind of climb back up, but it is very, very, very possible. I mean, it's not impossible that may happen. As long as we stay below this downtrend line and we're in Tether, we're good. And that's it for BTC. Let me get on to your very first coin or your very first altcoin, being Ethereum. Okay, so let's pull it back a little bit. Sorry, okay, here we go. So again, our major market movement, as you can very well see, we are in a bear trend. We've only had really two retracements throughout this entire process, one real retracement throughout this entire bear market. And that was roughly around April, where we can see this retracement coming back up. We failed to break the previous high, and so therefore it was deemed a retracement and not a reversal. So henceforth, we just continued with our market movement coming back down. We've moved all the way down. We should be trading in this region over here. However, when Vitalik Buterin came out and spoke about the 1,000% move generally in the market, not ever happening again. There was a lot of loss in confidence in the coin, and so we saw that drop come in over here. There was support found in and around the $180 level mark, and so this resistance over here, or this support over here, became resistance to this level over here, to this movement over here. So now we're playing in this bottom half of the triangle rather than the top half over here. So we're looking at coming back down together with BTC back to around the 180 level. If you're looking to get back into the market and you're not in, or if you're in Tether, I would set my buy levels in and around the 195 area, and then again around the 180 to 182 area, and that's that for ETH. If I just want to plot my Fibonacci, just so we can get an accurate figure, give me a sec. Okay, there it is, perfect. So we said 200, so that sits in perfectly with the 61.8. And then we said 182, which was the bottom of the zone over here, but our 78.6 sits in at 188. So to play it safe and to be conservative, I would look at placing my order in at around 200, and then again 190, just to hit yourself against those two targets over there. Right, the next one is XRP. XRP. Okay. So XRP is the only one that's really had a mind of its own in the recent weeks. Generally, the market does move along with Bitcoin. It doesn't, the altcoins will often follow what Bitcoin does. Now, if we look at the XRP chart, we can see very, very clearly that there's only been two big moves. There's one big move over here and a second big move over here. So what we've done is we've plotted an Elliott wave analysis or theory to the chart, and we've called out 5 waves. So this being our first wave, our second wave, our third wave as an extended wave, the fourth wave, which is that move last week, and so our last wave to come back down together with that $4,900 level on Bitcoin. That's what this level would be equivalent to. So that being said, our Fibonacci at this point here, if I could just pull this down for you, from this point to this point. So this is our current retracement, this long candle that we see over here. We failed to break through the previous high, and therefore we can confirm that it is a retracement and not a reversal, like most people currently think it is. So if we plot our Fibonacci from this bottom over here to the top, we always plot it from left to right, or left close to right close. And we can see very clearly that we're finding support in and around the 46-cent mark. Hence, I gave those target prices 2 days ago, or yesterday, on the comment section of my Crypto Nomads group, saying that we were looking at around 46 cents. That's why we were looking at that there. We found a little bit of support. We bounced off there. And in terms of our resistance, let's pull that from there to there. And you can see very, very clearly that we are sitting very much in line with the 38.2% zone on Fibonacci, which is roughly 56 cents. Should we break this area here, this 57, 58 cents, let's call it 58 cents, then there may be a possibility of us climbing a little further, and sort of finding a resistance in and around that 65 cent zone. But together with this downtrend line and our Fibonacci resistance level, I really don't see that happening. So, we are in, this is the retracement. We have peaked out, and we're looking at continuing our market movement back down to our main target being around the 25 cent mark, as we can see over here. Again, we will see a break in momentum on the way back down on these multiple Fibonacci levels. And the first one being, as I mentioned, on the previous plot, from here to here, we can see that we're looking for resistance around 46, around 37, and then again our 25 cent level. And that's that for XRP. Okay, the next one is LTC. I mean, you're getting excited about this one. This is a great coin, great technology. Okay, so once again, we can establish that we are in a bear trend at this point over here. This is the major market move, and we're looking at these as our retracements. It's failed to break through the previous highs, therefore we can confirm that these are retracements. The same thing has happened down at the bottom here, and we've really just sat tight underneath this downtrend line, as we can see over here, respected that level and dropped back down to our main support, which sits in the region of around $50. This $50 is equivalent to that $6,100 level on Bitcoin. And this level at the bottom here, which is around $46, sits in line with the $5,800 level on Bitcoin. So really depending on Bitcoin, we'll see what happens at these levels over here. But let me just zoom in a little more. So we can see, remove that. Up for you. Okay, there we go. So on this last move, you can see that this is now the continuation of the trend. This was a retracement. We found a little bit of support over here, and let's see what that level is on Fibonacci. Okay, so again, that's the 50% level, slightly higher. So it's actually closed in at the 38.2, which was exactly the same as Bitcoin. So we're looking at continuing this bear trend until we find our bottom, which is in and around the area of around $50, and then our second support sitting in and around $46, and those should be our short-term targets. So if you are out of the market, fantastic. If you aren't, I would look at starting to get out and maybe sell up a percentage of it and then buy back in at two different levels. The first level being, I would set it at around $51. We always try and set it in the zone area of our price target. So even though our target is around $50, we would then set it a little higher, because everyone else in the market is also looking at $50. I apologize for the noise in the background. So everyone else will be looking for that $50 area, and so their execution prices will be slightly higher. So $51. So if the price does come down, it might get triggered a little higher. So we don't want to set our buy orders at exactly the level of execution. It needs to be either a little higher for buying or a little lower for selling. So our target here is $51 and ultimately 47. What I would do if I were you, if you aren't in the market, I would look at possibly taking up a small percentage, and then buying maybe 50% at $51, and then holding out for the balance to hopefully come in at that $46, $47 area again to accumulate some more LTC. And that's our short-term target for Litecoin. XLM, let's have a look. Would have done the exact same thing. No, that's not correct. So there we go. So XLM obviously would have done a very similar thing to what XRP did. XRP had a very, very similar formation in the sense that it had a double bottom, as we can see over here. It wasn't quite exactly a double bottom, exactly like XRP was, but we're looking for that W formation, as we can see over here. It didn't quite complete that entire formation like XRP did, but nonetheless, it will follow XRP quite closely. So with regard to our current move and where we are going, let me just block this. There we go. So again, we found some support in and around this area over here, which was 24 cents. And we touched that 61.8 once again, and we found a bit of support over there. And we are retracting, as we can see, on the roof of this downtrend line, which is a good sign for us, meaning that we are very, very likely going to continue the trend that we had started off of that bear market coming back down. Now, if I just pull this a little higher for you, so give me a sec, and we look for our support zones. So your first support zone is really over here. Your second support zone is roughly over there. Okay, so there's two parts to this triangle. Here's the first part, and then there's the second part. Again, equivalent to 6.1 on Bitcoin and equivalent to 5.8 on Bitcoin. So with regard to this current move, we found support at the 61.8, and where we are going, let me replot it from a different angle for you. Here it is here. Okay, and as you can see, once again, we've touched that 38.2 and we've retracted. These candles over here are very, very bearish. Usually when a candle in the shape or form closes well above its opening, then it indicates that it's a very bearish sort of signal coming in. So we're very likely going to see some more bearish candles coming in after these two or three, maybe one more coming in, and we're going to continue with our downtrend over here. In terms of price targets, we should be looking at the following levels. We should be looking at this level here, that level there, and this level here. So I would look at, so if you aren't in the market, I would look at picking up some coin in and around 21 cents, the second target being around 19 cents, and this is really, an if level, so it's really a gamble, but if you want to try and catch a falling knife, maybe leave a very small percentage for the end to try and catch some more accumulation at the bottom here, and that level would be around 17.50 or call it 18 cents in the region of. And that's it for XLM. Okay, the next one is ADA USD. I don't know. Second. Okay, as you can see, there's not a hell of a lot of data on Cardano. Let me actually pull up a USDT, so there's a difference. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So it's already been plotted, actually, as you can see over here. Okay, so the current move, again, we reached the top of this downtrend line over here. And we started to come back down. We have found support breaking our momentum on the way back down to our target zones of the first one being 66 cents roughly, and our 78.6 sitting in at around 70 cents. So 78 cents matters only when you're looking at a retracement and not necessarily an extension. So the extension that we look for is anything beyond 100% in the major market move. In this case, we're looking for a retracement which is around 78.6 all the way down to the 100% zone over here. So we're looking at 70 cents and roughly 63 cents over here. And that's it for ADA. IOTA, USD. There we go. Oh, that's too big. Okay, there we go. So let's plot our downtrend line. I'd like for you to use this as well, for you to kind of teach yourself how to trade and how to plot on different charts, so that you can start creating your own analysis as well and do it in line with my analysis. That would be first class. That's the first zone. This is the second zone. Okay, so once again, the price has been respecting this downtrend line over here. Right now, we've been seeing quite a lot of sideways movement and not necessarily a retracement. This retracement over here was respected by this downtrend line. We then found support at this first support zone known as S1, which is around 50 cents or 49 cents. We then retraced, now we're coming back down, and we are nearing the end of this triangle. So for IOTA specifically, it would be a good idea for you to be partially in. I would say maybe 50%, and then hold out for the balance to come in at the bottom over here, which is around 44 cents before the breakout or breakdown, depending on what Bitcoin does. Except for IOTA. That's okay, perfect. So as you can see over here, TRX has actually broken through this downtrend line, but failed to break through the previous all-time high, indicating that this retracement was unsuccessful in looking for a reversal in the market. So we are now below the downtrend line once again, and we are looking for support in the region of around 1.9 cents, roughly, and our second target being about 1.82 cents. And that's it. But I want to just plot the Fibonacci for you as well, so you can just have that understanding. Here we go. So have a look at how strong that 78.6 level is. Most of the coins will touch on that 78.6 and then retract. Again, we're seeing a bearish candle being built because the candle itself, the body of the candle, closed well above the opening of the candle, making it almost look like a cross. And that generally indicates weakness in the market, and so therefore a continuation of our major market trend, which is the bear market. So we will very likely look at coming down to this level here, 1.99 cents, and secondly 1.8 cents. So those are the two targets for you for TRX. Nice. Okay. Trend line. Let's replot it. Just give me a sec. There we go. Yeah, perfect. I try and set it up live with you so you can actually see what I'm doing. In that way, you can learn how to chart yourself as well. So, Ethereum Classic. Okay. So, again, we can see that it's been respected by this downtrend line, failed to break through previous all-time highs. We're looking for support in the region of around $10.27, roughly. So currently you can see we are coming back down. We never really went near the roof of this downtrend line, but because BTC had found resistance, it would have been known, that Ethereum Classic, along with all the other altcoins as well, would have also made a turn back down. So again, if you aren't in the market, I would look at purchasing some of the coins back in the area of around $10.30 or $10.40, with the ultimate lower on this coin being around $9.90. So very, very tight margin between the two. Excuse me, I wouldn't actually split it up between the two because of how tight the margins really are. So I would look at getting in the region of around, I would place my buy order probably around $10.40. And that's it for Ethereum Classic and OMG. Okay, we'll just clear all this clutter up. Okay, so here's our first bottom, second bottom, which we've broken. Let's plot our trend line from the top to the bottom. You can see the volume is very negative. And let's plot our Fibonacci from there to there. Okay. So OMG's target, or short-term target rather, is, just zoom this in a bit. There it is. Okay, so OMG short-term target, we're looking in the region of, so you can see that we've tested it once already. This is price over here sitting at $3.17. It looks like we are going to be testing it again for the second time. There's not a hell of a lot of strength over here. So we're very likely going to test this level again, and more than likely going to be coming back down to this 100% mark over here, which is just under $3. So I would set my buy order in and around $3 for the next accumulation attempt on OMG. That's really a very clear chart. So you can see that quite nicely. Yes, let's do it. I'm going to remove that for you. And drop from there to there. Again, also the 8.6 was respected. Not a hell of a lot of strength once again in the same coin, same scenario. because we are in the continuation, which is of course the bear market movement. And we're very likely going to be looking at coming back down to this area over here, which is roughly $5. And your second target looking in at around $4.64, placing your buy orders a little or slightly higher, in around $4.70, $4.75, somewhere there. All right, and that's it for EOS. And the last one is Quantum. Quantum USD, there it is. Okay. I'm sure you would have noticed already just from this TA that most of the charts are very, very similar. And that's because all the coins will do exactly what Bitcoin does most of the time, with the exception of Ripple. So there's your first bottom, there's your second bottom again. So on this last point over here, you can see very clearly that this downtrend line has been respected multiple times. We're now trading towards the bottom of this wedge. The wedge is nearing, and we're about to show a breakout to either direction. So your price points at this level should be around $3.35. Always setting it a little higher, as I mentioned. So look at doing $3.40, for instance, and your second target then looking in the region of around $3.14. So looking at around $3.25, somewhere there. Fibonacci probably will confirm that as well if we plot that. And there it is, the 78.6 then tested, we then rebounded off that, found resistance at the top of this downtrend line, and are making our way back down. And that's it. As for the other coins, for your holding coins, I'll look into them, and I will do a TA off video, and I will just give you written targets for those coins, and that's it. So if you do have any other questions, please let me know. Let me know what you think of the video, and if there's anything you'd like me to add.